Miasen, asamina, asamina, epitakuhtid niwahkumagan, omakitasquino. Miasen, asamina, asamina, epitakuhtid niwahkumagan, omakitasquino.
It's called I Am. I am four elements, dirt of earth, water of sea, wind and sky, fire of sun. I am matter, a cell, I am an organ of life. All life from one single cell reproduces, bearing blood of ancestors. I am a fraction of memory, a piece of history, a segment of the ones I come from. In my heart pumps the blood of my predecessor and my descendant, of one spirit.
3 more minutes to wrap up your interesting conversations at the author tables.
The purpose of Ânskohk is originally was to showcase the diversity of Indigenous writing in the community, and secondly, it was intended to share the richness of the emerging and, of course, the literatures, not just the emerging, but the literatures that have been there for a long time on this land, and also as a way of really promoting mutual and respectful relationships in the community. And so it brought together these 3 purposes.
We are in a new age. Things are happening. And we can write whatever we want. My next book is a biography, science fiction. And I got the publishers scratching their heads wondering, where are we going to put this? And bookstores are going to wonder what shelf this book goes on. And maybe that's the way I get my own shelf, I don't know.
We have the oral storytellers, and we have people who are writing fiction, people who are doing playwriting and poets and you name it. And so people should expect to see a lot of that. Then we're also doing workshops that will, inform people about some of the current issues that that have been in the media, such as the appropriation, cultural appropriation. So, people will see a gamut of those things.
Today I was the moderator for the panel Affirming Indigenous Voices in Print, and our panelists, our people who are contributing to the panel, were Melanie Wood from the Saskatchewan Indigenous Cultural Centre, Doug Cuthand from the Star Phoenix and Leader Post, and Greg Younging, who is a publisher from Thetis Press. I'm happy that I got to come out and participate. It's really exciting to talk with other writers, to engage with people in the community, to understand how they come to story and their understanding of story. It's also really exciting to know that there's lots of different things being done in the Indigenous literary community in Saskatchewan.
Creeman, you are the salt and pepper in my moose meat stew, the one I need for spice in my life. Creeman, you are the loudest bingo caller in the hall. Your voice echoes through the rafters of my urbanized heart. Creeman, I wait for you, standing behind drum circles, listening to the high twangs calling my name. Creeman, I wait for you, a double-double in one hand and warm fry bread in the other. I think having a festival like this is incredibly important. It gathers the people from corner to corner of Saskatoon, urban Indigenous literature, gathering us from all the different nations is important. That's what really storytelling is. We're feasting, we're having food, we're having story, we're creating kinship and community. And this is just a safe space to do it with recognizing and having it be a place where other people can come into as well. I'm super proud to be a part of this.
It is early morning in the bottom of the Himalayas. The crack of dawn flashes its first ray of sunlight into the half-open eye of a great bald eagle of the North Americas, away from his own environment, lying in a pile of his own feathers, two broken wings, and clinging on to dear life. He takes himself to a happy place, back in the prairies where we soared and roamed the skies. He guarded younger birds from bloodthirsty vultures. He guided those who flew cricket, and he was always...
The name Ânskohk itself was a name that was given to by Joseph Netauhau to the original founders, if you will, of Ânskohk, and it means passing on a story. In terms of its history, Ânskohk came into being in 2004 through the Saskatchewan, at the time it was called the Sask Native Theatre Company, of course, which is now the Gordon Tutus Nikawin Centre. The Sask Native Theatre Company wasn't able to carry on with the effort any longer. It was cancelled, and so in 2011, a number of organizations and groups came together to, bring it back to life. And that was when the Saskatchewan Aboriginal Writers Circle Incorporated came into being. And so SAWCI, as we call ourselves now, have been hosting the event. We often partner with the Saskatchewan Writers Guild in that effort. This year, though, in 2017, of course, is a special Ânskohk event, which is in partnership with SaskCulture's Canada 150 Respect and Resilience theme.
I think Aboriginal literature is so important because obviously we have to tell our own stories. Even in my field of Indigenous sexuality, the viewpoint of telling it from an Indigenous woman and how we bring culture, food, and language into the bedroom and how we talk about it with our girlfriends the next day. This is important. This is space we need to claim. And then when you talk about using your stories to reclaim your history, the way that Mika has done with her poetry, reclaim your language, reconnect with your grandmothers, the way that she's done in her work. This is all such wonderful stuff.
When we talk about Indigenous literatures, we're not just talking about stories, because traditionally our stories contained everything: our history, our values, our spiritual teachings, our understandings of the world. And so to kind of compare them to the way we interpret stories in a Western academic tradition is really undermining the importance of our stories.
Stories are very important to us because they tell us who we are and where we come from, and perhaps even where we are going. And I think it helps us make sense of even the contemporary challenges that we face. It reinvigorates that sense of, as I say, self and community and our relationship to the natural world. And for that reason, I think it is so important, not just for, someone like me who is getting older, but for the youth. I think our youth are crying for that kind of connection.
Miyasen, asamina, asamina, epetakohtid newakumagan, ota oma ketaskino. Miyasen,